Okay, how much effort does it take to be successful in insurance? All right, I want to go over today how much you have to estimate and overestimate the amount of time, energy, and effort it will take you to be successful in this business, okay? There are plenty of great systems out there, plenty of places where you can learn, make money, be successful, and usually if you can be good at one, if you can do well at one, you can do well at another. It usually comes down to the amount of effort and action that you're going to put in. I know people who are successful in every system out there. There are MLM-based life insurance agencies that I know people who do very well in. There are independent agencies where people purchase their own leads and go out and do that I know people who do very well in. And then there are agencies structured more like the one that we have that people do very well in. So there's really no perfect fit per se. It's can you have your efforts be a perfect fit for what your goals you're trying to accomplish there. So I want to go over here of how important it is to really overestimate the amount of effort it's going to take to be successful and how you can do that, and then how you can map it out so that you can create a game plan for yourself and not get discouraged if you don't hit your goals, and then how to actually see that it's going to take, how to map out putting more effort, time, and energy so that you can actually hit the goals that you want to hit, okay? I want everybody coming into this industry to do well. I want everybody to be successful. And what it comes down to is, can you be disciplined? Can you map out your goals? Can you overestimate what it's going to take to get there? Because if you're going to fall short on your goals, most people fall short on their goals anyway. If you're going to fall short on your goals, you might as well fall short on a big goal, because then maybe you'll hit the initial one that you're going to set. So I'm going to get into that in a second. The reason why it's important to do that, there are a few things here that I'm going to go over briefly that you can overestimate on. So the amount of time, if you're in telephone sales, the amount of time you're going to have to spend on the phone with someone, okay? The amount of time you're going to have to spend on the phone in general every day. The amount of phone calls you'll have to make. The amount of phone calls you'll have to take, okay? The amount of appointments for callbacks that you'll have to go through before someone actually answers who actually wants to buy and wasn't just jerking you around, okay? The amount of sales you'll have to make up for the people that cancel, right? If you want to average 5,000 AP a week, you should probably be writing about 7,500 in anticipation that some are going to cancel, right? If you are building a team, you're going to have to overestimate the amount of people that it will get for you to reach your goal, because there's going to be some people who leave. You're going to have really good agents that leave for whatever reason. You're going to have agents that aren't that great that stick around and then become really great. You're going to have people that do really well and then crash and burn. So you have to always overestimate these things. Also, the effort that it will take to actually train people to get good at this. The amount of effort it will take for you in terms of training to get good at this. And the amount of times it will take you to do your presentation over and over and over and over and over again until you're really good to where it becomes a script, all right? This whole business is about putting in extra effort, okay? There are plenty of people who make $100,000 their first year selling insurance. None of them, I promise, work less than 50 to 60 hours a week. Like, you got to. If you want to make 100K, you better be cranking out that effort, especially in the first year, before your renewals start coming through, your pay-throughs, all that stuff, right? So what we want to do is we want to break down your efforts into quarters, okay? So every 3 months. I mean, we can have long-term goals, which is great, but your mind can't really see much farther than 3 months out, okay? So let me picture this for you. Picture 90 days, 3 months from now, okay? Picture where you'll be and exactly what your life situation will be and what you want out of it in those 3 months, okay? It's a little bit, it's just stretching your mind enough, right? Think about it. I want you to take 5 seconds right now to think of something that you want to accomplish in the next 90 days. Okay, so 90 days out is just far enough so it stretches your brain, but it's not too far. Now I want you to think where you want to be in the next 3 years, right? It's harder to picture that. It's good to have those goals and long-term destinations. I'm not saying it's not. We all have those. But in terms of workability, you have to break it down into something smaller. So you have your end game there, that's years ahead, but then you want to have your what's going to happen the next 3 months, and then we can break it down day by day, which I'm going to go into here. So when you set a goal, there are a few basic traits that you want to have for it, okay? You want to have, is it quantitative? So it has to be a real number. So you can't say, I just want to make more money. That doesn't work like that. It's not, oh, sorry, Yoda. It's not, I want to make more money, I want to lose more weight, I want to gain more weight, I want to, whatever. I want to get a higher credit score. It has to be quantitative. So whatever your income goal is, sales goal, whatever, you have to set that into a number. Okay, right now I want my team at 125,000 annualized premium per week within the next 3 months. Okay, with a certain amount of agent, 45 contracted agents producing. All right, so now for you, if you're setting a team building goal, then it can be similar. But if you're setting a production goal, then you're going to be like, okay, in the next 3 months, I want to either have a total amount of AP produced, or I want to be producing this much in annualized premium per week. So say you want to produce 5,000 in annualized premium per week, okay, by the end of the next 90 days. All right. Now, when you set a goal, you also want it realistic and attainable. So if you haven't made any sales, if you've been selling for a month and you've maybe been getting like 1 or 2 sales a week, setting 5,000 annualized premium in the next 3 months. Now, if that doesn't seem realistic to you, it's okay. Bring it down. Say 3,000, 3,500, 4,000 of annualized premium per week, okay? Whatever you think you can realistically hit, that'll still get you a paycheck, but don't stretch it too much. We call it the rubber band rule. So here I have a rubber band, right? Because of where our team's production is now, I may be stretching it a little bit much for 3 months, but this is a band here, okay? So I look at goals like this. Like if this is you and then this is where your goal, this is where you're at and then this is where you want to be. If they're too close to each other, so if your goal is too close to where you are now, it's not far enough away to give the rubber band any tension, okay? Now if it's too far away, it's going to snap. So if you're like making $1 a day and you want to make $1 million a day, that's just kind of like, okay, that's not going to happen in a short period of time. But when you have it just stretch a little bit farther away, what it does is the rubber band starts to pull you towards that goal. So the energy there of when it's something that's maybe just a little bit out of your reach, the energy that you get to pull you towards that goal is much more motivating, because it's something you're like, okay, like I can do this. I know I can do this. I know I can do this. Okay, so setting that type of a goal is great. It has to be realistic. So a quantitative value, realistic and attainable. Okay. With a deadline, all right, 90 days, all right? So if it's a weight loss goal per se, right, I want to lose 20 pounds in 90 days, okay? That's just an example. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take your quarterly goal and we're going to break it down in a week, okay? So figure out what you have to do every week to achieve that goal, and then how you're going to accomplish it. So what I mean by that is, for me, I know that to get to 45 agents from where we are now, I have to be working that are producing 125,000 annualized premium per week. I have to be training. I have to responsibility ration and give people overrides for training. And I have to recruit and have interviews consistently. So I break down my schedule on a weekly basis to make sure that I am training, recruiting, and hiring people, or in that process every single day I'm doing something to achieve that. Okay? So when you break down your schedule, this is what I want you to do. I want you to set 3-month goals here. I want you to set goals for 3 months. When I'm done this, telling you what you can set them on, I want you to pause the video. I want you to set up to 5, no more. Okay, you don't set like 50 goals. Don't do that. You're going to have too much. You're not going to be able to focus your energy enough on any of them to get them done. So maximum of 5, okay? I want them to be either financial or production, so how much you want to produce. I want it to be physical and some sort of fitness goal. You want to work out a certain amount of times a week. Do you want to lose a certain amount of weight? Do you want to gain a certain amount of weight, right? Something like that. So it can be, I want to gain 10 pounds, or I want to weigh 230 pounds at 8% body fat. That's for me. So you could be like, I want to weigh this much, or I want to lose this much weight, or I want to gain this much weight, or I want to work out this many times. If you're like, dude, I just want to get to the gym, then say, I want to work out 3 days a week, okay? Write a fitness goal. So production goal, fitness goal. If you're in a relationship or you do stuff with your family, have a personal goal like that. Have a goal where you're going to spend a certain amount of time every week with your family, significant other, or you're going to do a certain amount of events with them every week, okay? Have a savings goal, okay? We don't want to save just to save. We want to save it with the potential to invest, but have a goal to save a certain amount of money. Have a goal for some sort of an investment or paying off a debt, okay? Paying off a debt can be looked at as an investment because you're paying interest on debts. So paying off the debt is actually like getting a positive return on your money because you don't have to pay the interest anymore. So what else? What other types of goals? Production, savings, physical fitness, family, and then anything else, a personal development goal, right? You want to set a personal development goal, like I want to accomplish, like read this many self-development books, or I want to take this many self-development courses, or I want to watch one YouTube video a day on sales training, or I want to do something like that. Do 2 things per week, an hour each time to work on my personal development. So set goals like that. Physical fitness, financial, personal development, relationship-based, and then maybe another financial goal, put a random in there. So pause the video right now, write down those goals, 5 things you want to accomplish in the next 90 days. Make them quantitative so that there's number value, you can attain them. So pause the video now and then get that done, and then unpause it after. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to schedule your next week out to accomplish your goals there, okay? So you want to think about your goals for 5-10 minutes. I'm sure you just did that. You want to visualize, manifest, and actually picture them happening, okay? First things first, set your commitments. So appointments, commitments, anything where you have to be somewhere for someone. If you're working face-to-face, you want to have your appointments booked out. You want to have appointment slots, and this will adjust during the week as you set your appointments, okay? If you're working on the phone, you want to have your time where you have to be there for yourself, right? I'm committed to being at my desk dialing and taking calls for myself at this time, right? You have to make commitments if you have any appointments, if you have meetings, one-on-one sessions, training sessions, Zoom calls, things like that. Set those first over the next week. Open up Google Calendar, calendar.google.com, or your iCal, or whatever it is. Open that up. Okay, and set the calendar in there. So first you want to set your commitments. I'm going to give you guys the roadmap here. This is going to completely change your life, I promise you. If you follow this stuff every week, it's going to transform your life. So map it out. So first set your commitments. I want you to do that. Write down any appointments, commitments where you have to be somewhere for someone. If you have any questions about this stuff too, just drop it in the comments. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Okay, and now next what you got to do is set your excellence time. So excellence time is remember the self-development goal, personal development goal I told you about, or your production. So if you have a production goal, but you suck at production, you want to make sure that you have a training goal in there too. So you want to make sure, dude, not only do I have to just crush it this week in activity, but I have to make sure that I am increasing my effectiveness during that time. So excellence time is the second time. The reason why we set this after our commitments is because if we don't put this in, it can kind of get lost to the wind. And believe it or not, this is actually, I think, the most important part of your schedule is improving on yourself and always getting better, getting a little bit better. So excellence time, that can be your gym, because that's physical fitness, personal development. It can be setting training sessions for yourself. It can be setting time to read at night. It can be setting time aside to have a role play session with someone that you work with. It can be anything like that. So set those aside, okay, a few hours a week so that you are doing some of the things you wrote down. If you're like, I want to read 3 self-development books in 90 days or 1 self-development book in 90 days, make sure that every day you got a half hour to an hour in there of reading, okay? Have it be really early in the morning or later at night. Hey, life hack here. If you don't find enough time in the day to get stuff done, wake up earlier, dude. Just wake up earlier. I promise. Life gets better when you wake up early and just get stuff done. So start and write in the excellence time. So put in your self-improvement time. Try not to have this be during like major production hours. Have it be before or after when you think you'll be selling. Okay, so in the morning, the afternoon, or sometime on the weekend, which most people should work on the weekend. Next, what you want to do is set your green time. So the green time is your money-making time, okay? This is appointments, this is dialing, this is taking calls, this is anything that directly translates into income for you. For me, it's training and recruiting agents. That's what directly translates into income for me. So that's my green time, okay? If you're an agent, your green time will be, if you're just solely working on production, your green time will be your appointments, like when are your appointments blocked off, which is part of your commitments there. When are you open to schedule your appointments at? And then when are you dialing? Or if you're in telesales, when are you on the phone? So you want to make these like big blocks. These are going to be the biggest chunks. So set that aside right now. Make sure to break it up for lunch. Like, you don't have like 8 hours straight through of dialing. I mean, schedule a few hours, like meal, little break, another few hours, meal, little break, another few hours in there. Because if you have a production goal, it's going to end up being like, I want 5,000 AP. That means I have to have this many hours of talk time every single day, or I have to have this many presentations every single day, right? So you have to break that down. So next is red time. So red time helps with anything that helps improve green time. So if you have issues specific with carriers, like on certain policies you have to fix, if you have certain admin work that you have to get done, set like an hour, like a half hour to an hour, a couple times a week to just go through and get all that stuff done quickly, okay? That's really when you set up. It's like a setup cleanup time. On the weekends it's great for it too, okay? And then next, set some like leisure activity for yourself. So this is where you're gonna set time for yourself to really just make sure that you can get the things done that you want to get done just to improve yourself. Alone time at the pool, going just like maybe getting a massage. I don't know, going doing something where it's just a personal improvement time for yourself. And then once you get through that, you'll see how much blank space there is. Okay, I want to touch up on here how to correctly estimate the amount of time that you'll need for production, the amount of appointments that you need. So this is where I'm saying overestimate. This is where the overestimate part comes in, okay? So if you know that you need, for every 5 presentations that you make, or say you make 4 presentations, you get 1 sale. So say for every 4 presentations you make, one ends up being a sale, okay? And your average premium per sale is, say, $70 a month. So that's $840 in annualized premium. You're averaging 4 people to present to get 1 sale of about 850, well, we'll just say 800 annualized premium, okay? So that means if you want 5,000 in annualized premium, right? If you get 800 from 4, right, and then 5,000, you're going to want to get about 6 to 7 sales, which means you'll need about 30 to 35 presentations, okay? I believe that was right. 24, say about 24 to 35 presentations, depending if you get one of it every 4 or one of it every 5. So what I'm saying is you work backwards. So you're like, I want to make 5,000 AP. I make about 800 AP per sale, okay? Which means I need about 6 or 7 sales, okay? And for every 4 people I talk to, I make 1 sale. So that means for me to make 6 or 7 sales, I need to speak to 24 to 28 people. So this is where you overestimate, right? So if you're like, I need to talk to 24 to 28 people, 24 to 28 presentations to make 6 or 7 sales, you should shoot for like 35 presentations. Like just way more, 35 to 40 presentations. Like be like, I'm gonna absolutely make way more presentations than I need to, and then set that as a daily goal too, a daily target for yourself. Like, I'm gonna make 8 presentations today. And don't leave or stop until you make that. Because if you give up on your goals, then they're not gonna happen for you, right? You can't stay clean off yesterday's shower. Just because you got 12 presentations yesterday doesn't mean that you can get 4 today because you're shooting for 8 a day. You wanna get 8 every day no matter what, if that's what you're shooting for. So what that may mean is waking up a little, now you're like, whoa, that's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot, but you know how you can get better at it? By training. By overestimating the amount of training you're going to have to do, okay? This is where you're going to probably have to go back and take a look at your schedule and be like, whoa, I'm not doing enough. You're going to have to put in some extra training time so that maybe you can make it to 1 out of every 3 people that you present to, you sell to. Or so that your process goes from an hour maybe to 35, 40 minutes, right? So you can actually get more presentations in the same amount of time, okay? So you're going to want to present to maximize the time that you spend producing, but you're going to want to train to maximize the time you spend producing. So now, like, okay, whoa, I have to train more. You may be thinking to yourself, well, I have to do more presentations and I got to get my shit together. Excuse me. I got to do this. Because one of the biggest things people fall into as a 1099 independent contractor, as a life agent, is they have like a good week or two, and then all of a sudden they like come in late, leave early, and they like think they run shit. And that's just not how it goes. Like you gotta show up early and leave late, especially in your first year. There's nothing wrong with that. You can have two hards in life. You can have the hard schedule that you work with, that's hard to work, or you can have the easy schedule and then life's hard when you can't pay your bills and you struggle and you can't go where you want, go out to eat. And you go on a date and your girl or boyfriend gets the filet mignon instead of the New York strip. You're like, oh man, jeez, So you can choose what hard you want. I'm just being realistic here and telling you that if you follow what I said here, you will have a much, much higher chance of completing your goals. Write them out. Think, what goals do I want to hit? Boom, right? Make your goals attainable and maybe just out of your reach. Now, when it comes to estimating the amount of effort it's going to take every day, broken up into the week, to make those goals happen over the next 90 days, you want to overestimate the amount of effort. Because if you overestimate the effort, you're going to crush your goals. If you get 35 presentations a day, you bet your butt that you're going to be making those sales. And then at the end of the month, you're going to get the commission, you're going to get the bonuses, you're going to get the renewals next year, you're going to get the self-esteem, you're going to feel good, people are going to look up to you, people are going to want to work with you, you're going to get trainees, you're going to get overrides, you're going to get recruits, and it just keeps going and building and piling up. So that's it for today, guys. This is about how much effort you have to put in how much effort you have to put in to be successful in this business. Now, I'm going to put a template in a Google Doc in the description below. Please comment, ask any questions you want of how you schedule and how to set some goals. So thank you guys for your time today.